Hi, my name's Lila. I'm representing Team Nuff Said. You heard?
Heard!
And the title of this piece is called That Day. I wonder what I look like next to my grandma. She's short, wrinkly, and tough and strong, and she smells like Vicks Vapor Rubs and holy oils, and her eyebrows are dark and her hair is dyed black. Her skin looks like sandpaper, but it feels like soft satin. Shaking her hand will send chills down your spine, and her stare will have you down on your knees in front of her. But her smile will bring out the sun from behind the clouds. She used to brush my long hair as a kid and comb it into 2 braids that would flow down my back. I remember her pale, thick fingers pulling at my roots and wiping away my tears. And she'd soak her own hair in ashes of wood and sea salt and wrap me in it as a baby so I'd remember what home would smell like. Too bad the scent was covered up by hot Cheeto dust and SpongeBob-shaped popsicles. She looks the happiest when she cooks pozole or quesadillas, but she learned how to cook mac and cheese so her gringo grandchildren would learn to love her. They stare up at her with their big, bright brown eyes and spit out her homemade rice water and ask for pop instead. There's a pain that weighs down in her chest. Too much hurt rots within her. So I cry at her son's grave so she doesn't have to. I close my eyes as she whispers my uncle's name. Born 1968 in a town that wasn't exotic enough to be put on the map called San Guillermo in a state that's too hard to pronounce called Michoacan. His soul now rests in the same soil she uses to grow her flowers and tomatillo plants with. But when I try to ask her more about my uncle, she shushes me and closes the door to her bedroom. She has dents in her heart that mark secrets and promises she'll never breathe aloud. Yet I stroke her open wounds as best I can before she pushes me away, and I try to say I love you in Spanish by helping her set up the table and laughing at her sarcastic humor. But she swats my hands when I try to wash her dirty dishes. I will look tall and dark and young and naive next to my grandma. She served me sliced cactuses and diced carrots and a warm tortilla, but I somehow only speak colonizers' languages. She has a round middle and squishy arms, but my figure was informed to be loved. She lets her peach tree in her backyard grow to the heavens, so the fruit is juicy and sweet, but my heart hasn't yet ripened to handle her truth. And when I try to follow her to church on Sunday mornings, she's already left the house cold and empty. I love her more than she loves that little town by the lagoon. I love her more than she loves that rosary around her neck. And I definitely love her more than she loves me. Thank you.